Hello, and welcome to King Chefsby. Today on King Chefsby, we will be making a very popular Morbius. Now, you see, the ingredients you'll need here are some Morbius G Fuel, some wild cherry flavored syrup, some Tic Tacs, and some Sprite. I couldn't get Sprite, so I got 7-Up. You take your week-old 7-Up, and then you pour it into your Morbius G Fuel shaker. I think that's good enough. You then take some of your cherry syrup, and then you promptly pour it into your Morbius G Fuel shaker. And then fill out with some more cherry. Aw, shit, I got it on my desk. You then take your Tic Tacs and promptly put them in there. Realize that that's such a brain. Cry about it. Once the Tic Tacs are in, the final step is to put in the Morbius G Fuel. Take the scoop included in the product and even it out a little bit. And then you proceed to shake. Once you think it's well shaken, you actually pussy out and take it outside because you're worried it might explode. Oh, okay, Jesus. And once you are finally done, you take your cup and you pour. Oh, that is nasty. Morbius is a film that I'm sure needs no introduction. It was a movie that, at the beginning, was looked at with confusion. Sony, why would you drop this movie? It's gonna flop! And then, the movie came out and it smashed expectations, being the first movie to ever make $100 more billion. Okay, but actually, this movie flopped. Like, it flopped so fucking hard, and to the surprise of absolutely nobody for, well, all the reasons listed on the screen currently. But maybe it's a hidden gem, a movie that not many people have seen. I would keep that bit going, but all you have to do is look at the Rotten Tomatoes score and then save yourself a lot of time. Actually, you know, now that I say that, I have the script right here. I was gonna say, for some reason, no one has yet cracked this movie on YouTube, so let's go ahead and do that, but, yeah. But hey, most of these were months ago, and very little of them were in depth, as they were just, like, initial thought videos. Most likely because they didn't want to pay the 20 more bucks to watch the digital version. But damn it, I'm a trooper, and I paid those 20 bones to see this movie, and truly get into the mind of it, and see what makes it the greatest movie of all time, according to Rotten Tomatoes. So, in order to justify my purchase, let's take a look at the movie about the Marvel legend, Morbius. What the fuck is this title card? Why is it just a bunch of random geometry colored purple and blue? I get that it's an ode to the original comics, but come on, comics are for virgins. Okay, I know what this looks like. Anyway, we open on a random forest in Costa Rica, where we're then introduced to a helicopter that's flying down to a cave full of bats. I guess you could call it a bat cave. We're then greeted to Dr. Michael Morbius, where he then has the funny helicopter man set up a trap for the bats. You see, Morbius here is dying from a rare disease. Which disease? Well, you see, he took a trip to Wuhan and got hungry, and then he found a bat. Speaking of bats, Morbius does that. There's gotta be a more efficient way of doing this, man. What the fuck is this transition? At least when Spider-Man 2 did it, it had the excuse of being a good movie. We're then led to a special hospital in Greece, where we're then first greeted to Morbius as a child. He looks like a My Chemical Romance fan.
Was Milo? No. He was also the new Milo. Before him was the other new Milo. I don't even remember the first Milo.
Ha, get it? He stripped him of his name and then gave him the name of a dead child. Ha, get it? Morbius explains to his new friend, His adult counterpart is played by Doctor Who, so I'm just gonna call him Dr. Whobius. Morbius explains to Doctor Who the bare bones, basic idea of the rare disease that they have both had for their entire lives. Yeah. Call me crazy, but, I feel like he would already know most of this stuff. There's no time for that. Now we gotta do some fake sympathy building. Here are them getting bullied by some kids on the street. Yeah, bro, let's go make fun of some terminally ill kids! Could you imagine meeting up with your friends after school and then just deciding to go bully some disabled kids? Also, I feel stupid for pointing this out, but these types of people just don't exist in real life. And if they do, they're locked up in some penitentiary. Anyways, Dr. Whobius tries to not be in the movie anymore, but unfortunately he is then saved by Morbius and his big brain. His father figure, Dadbius, tells him that his incredible genius should be honed and refined, so he sends him off to a private school. And then this asshole just leaves his only friend a note and completely vanishes on him. You could have at least told him face to face, dude. See? Your letter led to him getting indirectly beat the fuck up. That's your fault. We then cut to Morbius at a prestigious award ceremony because he invented some Kool-Aid that saved at least 3 people. He's about to accept the Nobel Peace Prize, and then he doesn't. Whatever. Girlbius gets mad at Morbius because he's mixing bat and human DNA together.
These are the only mammals on Earth that have evolved to feed exclusively on blood. So in order to drink it, these bats produce saliva that contains unique anticoagulants.
So your theory is you can successfully splice vampire genes into your DNA would allow your body to produce those same anticoagulants.
Yes.
Hold up. From what I can gather from all this bullshit science talk, he's taking the blood-consuming aspect of a vampire bat and putting that into use to create a cure. Call me crazy, but I feel like that would just very obviously turn you into a being that needs to consume blood to live. I don't know, maybe there's something about this disease that disproves that. It's not like it was fucking explained to me. So he tests his super serum on a rat, because we need some sort of mad scientist generic trope in there. Serum doesn't work and the rat fucking dies. However, after Childbius has a stroke and Morbius does the side quest to save her life, the rat comes back. Wow. So he meets up with Dr. Whobius so that he can pay for all the things he needs because apparently he's broke. I don't know. So Dr. Whobius gives him a ship to work on because, I don't know, apparently this is illegal or something. And he also sets him up with 8 mercenaries. You see, I'm a really forgetful person, but I will always remember the amount of mercenaries in Morbius. But bro, why do they need the mercenaries in the first place? Like who's gonna put them in danger out here?
Glad it's you.
Had a lot of other suitors, didn't you?
Yeah. You know, the whole near-death thing is very, very chic. I read it in Cosmo.
And I can tell just from that line of dialogue that there's going to be a moment in this movie where these two kiss with zero proper build-up, and then the villain is going to kidnap her, and then she'll be the driving motivation for the hero in the final act. I mean, that's just a guess. I could be completely wrong, but so Morbius takes the juice for the first time in the movie, and he morbs. I hope you like those particle effects and those slow-mo effects and the quality of the CGI and the lighting of these action scenes, because that's how the rest of them look for the entire movie. I'm not joking. Yeah, so he kills everybody on this ship except for Girlbius because, I don't know, I think she went to bed. But it's okay. It's fine that he killed all these people because they were mean to women or something. So Morbius flees the scene, but not before we get to see sexy shirtless Jared Leto, baby! He puts on a shirt immediately after he takes it off. What was the purpose of this? We're then introduced to Detective BS 1 and 2. They don't really add anything to this movie. But hey, look, is that the hit YouTuber Quite?
Eat my ass.
We then come back to Morbius in his lab where he gets hungry. He goes to his freezer full of blood, and right before drinking the red, he pussies out and drinks the blue fake blood. Why does this work? I don't know, it's a movie about a stupid vampire, man. Why do I give a shit? So he dicks around for a few minutes and learns what his powers are, all of which vaguely bat-related, also all of which look like shit. Like, look at this fucking echolocation, man. That is nasty. My DoorDash here yet? No, I still got a few minutes. Anyway, he then decides to lock himself in a box with no access to blood. Now, you could read in between the lines here and analyze this as him trying to kill himself because he realizes that this is too powerful for this world or whatever. But come on, this movie's not that sophisticated. Also, it just makes him look like every single gamer when they're torn away from their G Fuel for 3 minutes. Hey, not me though, I can live without this stuff, alright?
What happens if I go without? No blue, no red, nothing.
Hey, wait a minute, how is he documenting this? He's dying in a cage. So Dr. Hubius comes to save him and he realizes that Morbius is a fully functioning human again. And when he asks Morbius for this serum, Morbius tells him no. But he doesn't tell him why.
Please. I can't.
Why the fuck are you being cryptic? This is like a movie pet peeve of mine. When a character is cryptic for no other reason than if they weren't, the movie would be over. What you have to tell Dr. Hubius in this scenario is, Dr. Hubius, if you take this serum, you are going to turn into a vampire man. We then see Morbius kill a woman. I think this movie's trying to be a horror action. Because of this, Detective BS 1 and 2 come to arrest Morbius and put him in Arkham Asylum. It then leads to a really shitty chase scene and confrontation.
Holy water? Really?
What? I'm not taking any chances. It's triple blessed.
We found this little guy on the container ship. With those bodies.
You know, 8 dead mercs on a boat really doesn't ruffle our feathers. I'm pretty sure they were guilty of something and happy to have them off the water.
What? Are you fucking serious? Alright, so you did kill 26 people, but after further inspection, it turns out they were all Mexican. I mean drug dealers. So, you're free to go. If you want a bagel, they're right by the exit when you leave.
Single mother with twin girls, that's something else.
Yes, I know. Her name is Kristen. We worked together every single day for 7 years. She was a good person.
Morbius, why the fuck do you keep answering these messages so cryptic? It's digging you holes. Don't worry though, Dr. Hubius is here to help Morbius out, except he isn't. You see, he actually took the serum and he was the one who killed that lady. So Morbius makes his great escape and confrontation again, a third shit confrontation. I hope you like those slow-mo effects and those particle effects and the quality of the CGI and the lighting of the shot, because that's how all the fight scenes look. Why the fuck do companies keep doing this sped-up slow-mo? It never looks good. Now, in a better movie, I'd probably say a villain like this brings levity to a film and makes it, like, feel more entertaining to be around, but no, here it just makes me want to kill myself. So Morbius flies away from the confrontation because he can't bear to fight his former friend. But as we'll see later in the movie, he has no problem trying to kill him. So what was the plan here? So Detective BS 1 and 2 then investigate the crime scene that just took place, and they think Morbius killed all of these people again, except there are multiple eyewitnesses and a fucking camera in frame that show that he didn't. Then cut to Girl BS evading Detective BS 1, except in this scene, she looks back and there's nobody there, but she goes faster anyway. And then she keeps looking back, but nobody's there. But then the detective just kind of appears out of nowhere. Yeah, this movie now has shot continuity errors. Yes, my favorite trope, the Latino character that speaks Spanish once in the entire movie and then never does it again so that all the white people get out of their seat and start clapping. Oh, my favorite. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm gonna do a side quest real quick. So I was watching Miss Marvel yesterday and they said Latinx in that show.
Was she Latina? I'm sorry, I'm supposed to say Latinx now, right? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like making fun of people who use Latinx as a term, but I just gotta ask, is there any Latino out there that actually likes being called by Latinx? Because I know every single Latino I know personally would rather be hit in the shins 80 times with a scooter until they were broken than be called Latinx. Myself included. Alright, anyway, back onto the better movie. Alright, so Girlbius and Morbius meet up and talk about like the newest Fortnite update or whatever before these guys commit the dastardly crime of counterfeiting. So then Morbius comes in and scares the shit out of them, and then he takes all their shit to make a science lab.
Who the hell are you, man?
Me? I...
Have sex, excel, put my hands against, put my best against, put it fully cash show, full of Tingani tandi best show, full of Tandin tashi tandi hair show, full of I funi kati funi cash show. Excel, put my hands against, put my best against, put my 10 or put my spend. Have sex, excel.
So Dr. Hubius goes and hits on women at a bar, but this guy cock blocks him, so he hunts him down and kills him. Yes, we are now at the point where our villain is so evil that he is now killing people because he can't get some pussy. Have sex! Have sex!
Okay.
I'm closer.
Called it. Then Detective BS 1 and 2 find out that Dr. Hubius is actually the one killing people. This is the last thing they do in the story, by the way. They show up once at the end, but like this is like their last bit. They had no purpose in this movie whatsoever. We then cut to Dadbius, who I genuinely forgot was in the movie at this point, as he goes and tries to console Dr. Hubius. However, Dr. Hubius lashes out at him for this.
Hello.
Michael doesn't accept what he is, Nicholas. I'm gonna make him accept it.
By ruining his good name.
See? There you are! Perfect Michael, selfless Michael, Michael the favorite!
Are you fucking kidding? This dude saved your life. You would have been dead on the streets of Greece if this dude wasn't there for you. So then Dr. Hubius pettily puts Dadbius down. Morbius then fully finishes a cure for him and Milo, except it's not a cure and it just kills them. Guys, I figured out a way to cure every single disease on planet Earth. Bleach! Dadbius then calls up Morbius to check up on him one last time. You know, you could have used your like last phone call to call like an ambulance or something, but yeah, sure, call Morbius, I don't know. You know, I think we're supposed to feel something here. So immediately after this emotional encounter, we then cut to Dr. Hubius kidnapping Girlbius so that Morbius can be lured to him. And then he just instantly kills her. Is this a fetish? Morbius caves in and finally eats her blood. And he goes to face off against Dr. Hubius one last time. And it's the worst fight in the movie. I'm not even gonna front with you. This is somehow the worst fight in the movie. I'm not gonna get too far into it. It's boring. But just when it looks like Morbius is about to lose, he uses his final smash of bats and shit, and it disorients Dr. Hubius somehow far enough to the point where Morbius can go up and stab him with the cure, with the bleach. Michael, you can't kill me. It's me. You know, I think we're supposed to feel something here. So Morbius flies off into the moonlight, representing his status as the only living vampire. I don't know, this entire shot means literally nothing in the entire context of the fucking movie. Whoa! Girlbius is gonna be a vampire too? I can't wait for the sequel! Oh wait, and then we're followed up with the 2 post-credit scenes of the movie, and oh boy, let's just get into these.
Well, that was fucking awful. This has to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I mean that wholeheartedly. It feels like a mockbuster that you'd find in a bargain bin somewhere. No, don't show me the credits. Now I just know who to blame.
So the first post-credit scene of this movie features Michael Keaton's Vulture being transported to this universe after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. And because he's done nothing wrong in this universe, he's promptly released from prison. And from his first line in this movie, you can tell that this guy is being written by different people. He is not being written by the directors of Homecoming. No, he's written by somebody different and worse. You see, out of all the people in the MCU currently, I think Adrian Toomes would take being shat out into another dimension the worst. Because he's just a normal guy. If this happened to him, he'd probably go mentally insane.
Hope the food's better in this joint.
Oh, okay, that reaction's fine too, I guess. Other than that, I guess this is a fine post-credit scene. And then you see the other one. So Morbius drives in a sports car to some random location that Vulture told him to go. Number 1. Why is Morbius driving here? He is a wanted criminal, and he can fucking fly. Number 2. Why would Morbius want to meet up with Vulture? What does he gain from that? He doesn't even know who this guy is. In what ways can this man help him? Number 3. How the fuck does Vulture have his suit? He didn't have it with him when he was transported here from prison. And there is none of the necessary tech required to create the suit in this universe. Also, he didn't make his suit in Homecoming. This guy did. But hold on, wait. Just listen to this dialogue. And while you're watching this scene, I want you to keep in the back of your mind that this is a scene from a movie that a multi-million-dollar corporation thought was acceptable to put onto the big screen. Just watch it.
Thanks for meeting me, Doc. I've been reading about you.
I'm listening.
I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think. I'm still figuring this place out, but I think a bunch of guys like us should team up. Could do some good.
Intriguing.
Yeah. I did not edit anything in that, by the way. That is just how it was. I know that it's like a dead meme at this point, but this is genuinely NPC dialogue. It's legitimately like NPC dialogue. This is just garbage, nothing burger statements. And also, why the fuck would Morbius agree to team up because of the things that Vulture says? This takes place in the Venomverse, which has no Spider-Man. As far as Morbius is aware, there is no such thing as a Spider-Man. You want to know how I know that? Because all the scenes of fucking Spider-Man in the trailers weren't in this fucking movie! So what purpose is there to making these two team up? Quite possibly with Venom. What is there to gain? Even if Spider-Man did exist, Morbius has absolutely zero problems with him. He has absolutely no beef with Spider-Man. So what is the point of teaming up with Vulture? And this is so painfully obviously trying to set up some sort of Sinister Six. And if they make a Sinister Six anti-hero team, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I'm not gonna go pay to see that movie. I have no interest in watching a cannibalistic goo monster that can't cannibalize anybody because the movie has to be PG-13. Another cannibalistic vampire man who can't cannibalize anybody because the movie has to be PG-13. And a nerfed version of an already great character that was taken away from a cinematic universe that could have expanded on the character and made him something fantastic. Fuck you, Sony. Okay, nerd rage over. Now it's time for the fucking number squirt. So in conclusion, I think that movie deserved to make $100 more billion. But genuinely, this has a shot at being the worst movie of 2022. Its plot is borderline incomprehensible, the characters are 2D and flat. I know I referred to everybody as a variation of the name Morbius, and yeah, that was mostly a joke, but unironically, it took me 3 watch-throughs to get the name of Milo and Dr. Bancroft. And that's pretty insane because they were the 2 co-leads. I've watched this movie like 4 times now. I can't remember the names of the detectives or the dad. Like, I genuinely don't remember any of the characters' names because they were so irrelevant. The detectives are probably the worst characters because they serve absolutely no purpose. They're a chore to sit through and watch. The love interest, Dr. Bancroft, is genuinely one of the worst I've seen in a really long time because she has absolutely no personality, and like I said, that kiss between her and Morbius is just like, there's zero buildup, there's no buildup. And there is like almost no conflict. The entire movie, Morbius is on the run for the police, but I forgot that a lot of the time. That escaped my mind almost all of the time. And then on top of that, there are just a lot of these like really weird like plot inconsistencies. Like, for example, Morbius says in the movie that he doesn't want to fight Milo, but then like immediately after, he's like seen developing like the killing cure thing that I was mentioning, you know, the bleach and the action. Like, the least you can do for your shitty superhero movie is have good action and not make it look like that. And I normally wouldn't complain about a rating to a movie, as I don't really think it ruins a movie for me a lot of the time. However, like I said before, this is a movie about a character who fucking eats people, and it's PG-13. Dude, it's really hard to be invested in a movie that just doesn't go all the way and chickens out with its violence, and everything else for that matter. And you do not have to tell me that this movie was tampered with by the studio. Like, you can tell with the post-credit scene, and just everything in the movie doesn't line up, as well as, like, you know, not seeing a lot of the stuff in the trailers. So with all of the things that have been said before, it is with great displeasure that I give Morbius, the Marvel legend, a 2 out of 10. That's all for this video. Like and subscribe or I'll eat your wife alive. Anyway, go morb yourself.
I'd like to see his secret cave. Well, Batman does things in his special way. He'd do it better with the birds of prey. Well, Batman always seems to save the day. No one does it better. No one does it better than the birds of prey.